Hey everyone, welcome back to TalkEasy English. I'm really glad you're here today because we're going to talk about one of the most useful and realistic English situations you'll ever face, speaking English at the airport. You see, airports can be exciting, but also stressful. There are people from everywhere, constant announcements, and lots of moments where you have to speak English. At check-in, during security, at the boarding gate, and even after you land. So today, I want to help you sound calm, polite, and confident in every one of those moments. We'll go step by step from the moment you arrive at the airport until you take your seat on the plane. You'll learn exactly what to say, what to expect, and how to respond naturally, not like a textbook, but like a real traveler. All right, let's begin with the first step, arriving at the airport and checking in. When you arrive, the first person you'll usually talk to is the airline staff at the check-in counter. They might greet you with, "Good morning. Where are you flying today?" You can reply simply, "Good morning, I'm flying to London." Nice, simple, polite. Then they'll usually say, "Can I see your passport and ticket, please?" You can hand them over and say, "Sure, here you go." Now they might ask, "Do you have any checked baggage?" That means, do you have a big suitcase you're putting under the plane? If yes, say, "Yes, I have one bag to check in." If not, say, "No, just my carry-on." Sometimes they'll ask about your seat. Would you prefer a window or aisle seat? That's your chance to choose. A window seat gives you the view. An aisle seat gives you easy access to move around. You can answer, "A window seat, please," or "An aisle seat would be great." After that, they'll print your boarding pass and maybe tag your luggage. Then they'll say something like, "Your gate number is B12. Boarding starts at 9:45. You can say, "Thank you very much." It's that easy. No need to use complicated sentences. Airports are about short, clear, polite English. Now, sometimes small issues happen, like overweight baggage. If the staff says, "I'm sorry, your bag is overweight," you can ask, "How many kilos am I over?" If it's too heavy, they might ask you to remove something. You can say, "Okay, I'll take a few things out." Keep your tone polite. Remember, it's not about speaking fast, it's about staying calm. After check-in, you'll move to security control, and that's another place where English comes up often. At the security area, you'll see signs saying things like, "Liquids under 100 milliliters only," or "Remove laptops from bags." The officers might tell you directly, "Please take off your jacket. Take your laptop out of the bag. Step forward, please." You can respond with simple words like, "Okay, sure, no problem." These small responses show you're cooperating. That's what they want to see. If they ask, "Do you have anything in your pockets?" you can say, "Just my phone," or "No, nothing." Once you finish, say, "Thank you." It's amazing how much politeness can make your travel smoother. Remember, airport staff deal with thousands of people daily. A small thank you can make the interaction pleasant for both of you. Now that you've passed security, you're free to head toward your gate. But sometimes you have some time to relax. Maybe grab coffee, eat something, or shop a little. That's where casual English becomes helpful. At a cafe, you might say, "Hi, can I get a cappuccino, please? Can I pay by card?" Or at a store, "Excuse me, how much is this? Do you have this in a smaller size?" Even these small interactions help you stay in the rhythm of speaking English confidently. The more you use it, the more natural it becomes. Now let's imagine it's almost time for your flight. You're sitting near the gate and you start hearing announcements. These can sound fast, but don't panic. Let's break them down. You might hear, "Attention passengers on flight 247 to London. Boarding will begin in 10 minutes. That means it's almost time to line up. Then, "We are now boarding passengers seated in rows 20 to 30. That means if your seat number is in that range, you can go now. If you didn't catch the number, you can walk up to the staff and say, "Excuse me, has boarding started for flight 247? Or, "Excuse me, can I board now?" Always start with "Excuse me." It shows politeness and respect. When you hand your documents, the gate agent will say, "Can I see your boarding pass and passport, please?" You reply, "Sure, here you go." Then they might smile and say, "Have a nice flight." You can respond, "Thank you. Now, sometimes there are flight delays. That's normal. If you hear, "We regret to inform you that Flight 247 has been delayed due to weather conditions," you can ask at the desk, "Excuse me, how long is the delay? Will the flight leave today? Will we still arrive tonight?" Use simple and calm sentences. Remember, airline staff are there to help. Once it's time to board, make sure to say a quick thank you or good evening when the crew greets you. Small courtesies show confidence and good manners. They don't need perfect grammar. When you enter the plane, you'll hear things like, "Welcome aboard. Please find your seat and stow your carry-on in the overhead bin." You can reply, "Thank you." And if you need help, you can ask, "Excuse me, where is seat 22A?" Or, "Could you help me with my bag, please?" All right, now that you're on the plane, let's talk about in-flight English. What to say during the flight. Now that you're on the plane, it's time to relax. But there are still a few moments when you'll need to speak or understand English. This part is all about in-flight English, the things you say to flight attendants or other passengers, and the English you'll often hear during your flight. So, first things first, after you sit down, the flight attendants will usually walk through the aisle to check that everyone is ready for takeoff. They might say things like, "Please fasten your seatbelt. Make sure your seat is in the upright position. Please open your window shade." If you're not sure what to do, don't worry. You can always ask, "Sorry, what does that mean?" Or simply copy what other passengers are doing. Before takeoff, the cabin crew might also give an announcement like, "Please ensure all electronic devices are switched to airplane mode." That means turn off your Wi-Fi and mobile data. Now let's talk about communicating with the flight attendants. If you want something, the polite way to ask is always to start with "Excuse me." For example, "Excuse me, could I have a glass of water, please?" "Excuse me, do you have a blanket?" "Excuse me, can I get some headphones?" Simple, clear, polite. When they serve food, they might ask, "Chicken or beef?" You can answer directly, "Chicken, please," or "Beef, please." Then they might ask, "Would you like something to drink?" You can say, "Yes, orange juice, please," or "No, thank you." And if you didn't hear what they said, don't panic. You can just say, "Sorry, could you repeat that, please?" That's one of the most useful sentences in travel English. Now, sometimes you may need to leave your seat. You can say to the person next to you, "Excuse me, may I get through?" Or if someone needs to pass, you'll hear them say that to you. Just smile and move a bit. Polite communication goes a long way when you're stuck in a small space together for hours. If you need to use the restroom, you can ask a crew member, "Excuse me, where's the restroom?" They'll point it out, usually at the front or back of the plane. During the flight, the crew will also make several announcements. For example, "Ladies and gentlemen, we are now cruising at an altitude of 35,000 feet. That means you're in the air safely." Or, "We are expecting some turbulence. Please fasten your seatbelt." That means keep your seatbelt on, don't walk around. If you feel nervous during turbulence, just stay calm. It's completely normal. You can quietly tell yourself, "This happens every day. Planes are built for this." It's good English and good psychology. Now, let's say the flight is long and you want to be friendly with the person next to you. You can start a small conversation. Nothing deep, just a light chat. Here are some natural openers. "Is this your first time flying to London? Are you traveling for work or vacation? How long is your layover?" And if you're not in the mood to talk, you can simply put your headphones on and say, "Nice talking to you." That's a polite way to end a conversation without being rude. Later in the flight, maybe you want something, like a snack, a drink, or to stretch your legs. You can say, "Excuse me, can I have some water, please?" "Excuse me, is it okay to walk around?" See? All natural, soft, polite English. As you get closer to landing, the captain might announce, "We'll be landing shortly. Please fasten your seatbelts and return your seats to the upright position." You just follow the instructions. Then you'll hear, "Cabin crew, prepare for landing." That's the sign that you're almost there. Your trip is about to begin. Now, let's move to the last important stage, arrival English. This is the part many people find stressful: immigration, customs, and finding your bags. But I'll show you how to sound calm and confident through every step. When you get off the plane, just follow the signs that say immigration or passport control. When it's your turn, the officer might say, "Good afternoon. Can I see your passport?" You can hand it over and say, "Sure, here you go." Then they might ask questions like, "What's the purpose of your visit?" You can answer, "I'm here for vacation," or "I'm here for school," or "I'm here for business." Then they might ask, "How long will you stay?" You can say 2 weeks or 6 months, whatever fits your situation. Sometimes they ask, "Where will you be staying?" You can reply, "At a hotel," or "with a friend," or "at the university dorm." The key here is to speak calmly and clearly. Don't try to sound fancy. They're just checking your answers, not testing your grammar. If they ask, "Do you have a return ticket?" you can show it or say, "Yes, here it is." And when they're done, they'll say, "Enjoy your stay." You can smile and say, "Thank you." Now, after immigration, it's time to pick up your luggage. Follow the signs that say baggage claim. You'll see screens showing flight numbers and carousel numbers. That's where your bag will come out. If you can't find your bag, go to the Lost and Found or Baggage Services desk. You can say, "Excuse me, my luggage hasn't arrived yet. It was on flight 247 from Dubai. Here's my baggage tag." They'll help you locate it. Then, if you see a customs area, you might need to choose between 2 doors. One says "Nothing to declare," and one says "Goods to declare." If you don't have anything special, like expensive electronics, alcohol, or large cash amounts, just go through "Nothing to declare." A customs officer might still ask, "Do you have anything to declare?" You can say, "No, nothing." And that's it. You've arrived. You've gone through the full journey in English. Check-in, security, boarding, flight, arrival, and you've done it confidently. Now here's something powerful to remember. Speaking English while traveling isn't about perfection. It's about connection and clarity. Every time you speak, every "excuse me," every "thank you" builds your confidence a little more. You see, confidence doesn't come from studying for years or memorizing grammar rules. It comes from those small, real-life moments. When you speak English with a stranger, ask a simple question, or even smile and say thank you when you understand someone for the first time. When you travel, especially through airports, you're not just moving between places. You're moving between versions of yourself. A shy version that used to overthink every sentence, to the confident version who says, "Excuse me, can I get some help?" without fear. That's how language becomes alive. It's not about sounding perfect. It's about connecting, surviving, and learning from every small mistake you make along the way. Because every wrong word teaches you something new. So the next time you're at the airport, don't hide behind your phone or stay silent just because you're afraid to make mistakes. Look around. Everyone there is trying to get somewhere, trying to communicate. You belong in that crowd too. If someone says something you don't understand, smile and ask, "Sorry, could you say that again, please?" That's not weakness. That's courage. The more you use English in real situations, the more you'll realize your English is not broken. It's growing. And that's the beauty of it. So whether you're at the airport, on a plane, or stepping into a new country for the first time, keep speaking. Even if your hands shake a little, even if your accent feels heavy, because those are the moments that build fluency. And remember, learning English isn't about knowing all the words in the dictionary. It's about using what you already know with confidence. It's about making mistakes, laughing about them, and moving forward anyway. That's what makes you fluent. So, if you've been listening till now, I just want to say you're doing amazing. You didn't just learn travel English today. You built the mindset of a confident speaker. All right, everyone, that's it for today's episode of Talk Easy English. If this episode helped you, make sure to subscribe, like, and share it with someone who's traveling soon. Every week, we make real, practical English episodes, the kind you can actually use in real life. Thanks for tuning in. Keep practicing, keep improving, and I'll see you in the next episode.